Well, we are so excited because today we are joined by, honestly, I think my new Roman empire, which is Jade Trau. Jade Trau is the founder of her eponymous jewelry collection and line, her jewelry brand. I stumbled across your jewelry when I was on Shopbop, and there were some pieces that I really loved, and then I realized they were both by Jade Trau. And then I just kind of became irrationally obsessed. And I don't know how many times I've mentioned, or I've said the two words Jade Trau to Chanler.
I think it could be a drinking game at this point, and I would be drunk all the time because you literally say it all the time.
No, anytime I have friends that are like, what should I get as a push present? And I'm constantly sending links. So anyway, I went to your showroom. We met, we chatted for a couple hours, and I begged you to come on the podcast. So thank you so much for coming on.
I'm so happy to be here.
Of course.
I appreciate you saying that.
Oh, thank you. Let's just get into how you kind of came to start your brand. Did you always know you wanted to be a jewelry designer?
So, I mean, on some level, maybe. In my 6th grade yearbook, they did a poll and said, what's your future career going to be? And all the other kids in the grade voted, and they said jewelry designer for me.
Really?
Wow.
So I don't know why. I think, my grandfather was a diamond manufacturer. He got rough diamonds and he polished them at his factory across the street from him on 47th Street. And he came from a couple generations before he, came to America and then started in the diamond business again post World War II or during World War II. And I guess I always loved diamonds and I always loved gemstones, but the jewelry line thing, it felt far away. It felt like I've used this line before, but I really do think it's the closest equivalent. It's like coming from a family of farmers and saying, I'm going to make luxury leather goods.
Right.
The difference between knowing how to cut a diamond and I would go to Antwerp and go to Israel and buy diamonds all the time. And I knew that. But the minute I started making jewelry or even thinking about it, I didn't understand the branded world. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand how to make a piece of jewelry. Someone used the word porosity and I was like, well, what is that? I had to learn everything.
Yeah.
So because my grandfather manufactured diamonds for all these years, and it was exciting because we were adding value. We got rough and we turned it into polish and we certified it and we decided what we were going to do with it. And will it be an oval? Will it be a pear shape? Things like that. And then the world sort of globalized and got smaller and, manufacturing essentially moved completely out of the US, diamond manufacturing or cutting. And I was basically an import-exporter. I had 2 young kids and I was atrophying. I hated it.
Okay.
And I kept thinking to myself, I got to add value. I have to do something else. And so one day I was actually in a car with my friend who didn't work and really was, lived a very leisurely life as a mom, lovely person. And I said one day when I started a jewelry line, and she looked at me and she said, when are you going to do it already? And I remember walking into the office that day and saying, okay, I have to do this.
Yeah.
I have to get over my fear. I need to get over any imposter syndrome I might have. I need to get over the feeling of everyone's going to think that my grandpa had a big diamond company and now I'm starting a jewelry line, which couldn't be farther. I mean, technically true, but in terms of me getting a leg up did not help me other than his stellar reputation in the diamond business.
Right. Well, I feel like you could have help making a jewelry line, but that doesn't help you have a very distinctive point of view and a very there's something about all of your pieces that is just unique, cohesive, and very special. These are not standard tennis bracelets. These are not standard studs. Everything is special and it almost looks like vintage, but also new. And so anyway, I'm so curious how you developed that that very that very sophisticated, visual
point of view,
skill set, point of view. Yeah. How did you develop your point of view?
So, because I came from diamonds, I saw all the sort of, for lack of a better word, generic or classic diamond jewelry that was out there, because that's what I was selling. I was selling to all of those luxury houses. And I always looked at what was there. And you could see the nuanced difference between what, a solitaire diamond ring at Tiffany's is versus Harry Winston versus Van Cleef, right? And they are nuanced, but I was looking at it constantly. And so when I started to make my line, I thought there's this like sameness across the board.
Yeah.
That if you look from, 6 feet out, they all look exactly the same. And so how can I, from a little, like from 6 feet away from you, how can I make it feel different, but also really stay in the world of classic?
Right.
And I went through iterations. I remember my first time I had about 25 pieces in my collection, and I showed it to a woman who I still have so much tremendous respect for. And she said, "You have something, but it's not there yet.
Oh,
Go back."
really?
And she said, she separated it out. She said, these pieces have a point of view and these don't. And she said, "I'm sorry to tell you this." And I said, why are you sorry? I was so relieved and thrilled to get honest feedback. And I still say now to all of my vendors, all of my clients, I go, please give me feedback. All feedback is good feedback. And as we know, we learn more from the things that are hard to hear. Right?
Right.
And so it just took me a little time. I had certain moments, I think we all do. We all have those aha moments. I remember when I started designing alchemy and how it came about, and like going through this process of thinking about diamond shapes and how I could just really pay homage to what I know, like the bare bones of what I know. I know my grandfather cut rounds, marquise, pear shapes, and ovals. And so I was like, what makes a marquise special? What makes a pear shape special? And I sort of was like, well, let me put a frame around it that feels beautiful. And that's how alchemy started.
Okay.
And it took a while. And actually, even then, when I first launched alchemy, it was not that well received. People didn't understand it.
Really?
They liked it, but they didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And someone had said to me at some point, when I started the line, "Who are you stealing your shelf space from?"
Oh my gosh.
As in, like, there's nothing new under the sun. So who are you going to take over? And I remember thinking, going through all of the brands in the marketplace that I knew and thinking, I don't know, nobody. And ultimately, I guess that was the success. But because of that, I think it took a little while. It's, am I classic or am I edgy?
Right.
Like, which one is it? Do I belong in, at that point when I started, Barney's, or do I belong in, the Main Street jewelry store next to your classic pair of diamond studs?
Right. Well, I would say there's something both super feminine about your designs and edgy at the same time that make them just really, really special.
Yes. Thank you. I mean, I think it's like us, right? It's like who we are as women, right? And I think that's ultimately what I'm always trying to get at. I wear test everything. If I put it on and it doesn't make me feel powerful and sexy, I don't want to put it in the line.
I love that. Well, and I also just feel like when it comes to shopping at like high-end jewelry, the last thing I want to do is spend a lot of money on something that looks the same. Like, looks like it could have been bought on just, it looks like it's any other piece. Like, I think when you're really investing, you want to get something that feels like it's unique and not everyone has it. And that's what I feel like you've really nailed. And so anyway, I am just a mega super fan.
You don't want the pieces that you invest in, these high-end jewelry pieces, to be dupable.
Exactly.
And especially now with lab-grown diamonds, you can get that tennis necklace and it's really going to look visually imperceptible to, the one person who spent $60,000 and the other person who spent $3,000, which is fine, because it doesn't really matter. It's how it makes you feel at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But for me, I wanted my diamond jewelry to make me feel like unique and a little standout.
Yeah.
Obviously, as the brand grows, more people have it. But I think that's why I'm working so hard to always add things to the collection. Because I want people to have 10 different choices of a necklace in the same category. So you can have one and you can have another one and you still feel special and unique.
Right.
I think too, like, you want your jewelry to feel like extensions of your unique personality, like extensions of your identity, more than like clothing necessarily, because jewelry, you're going to be wearing it every single day. It's going to be complementing every single look of yours.
I mean, to me, jewelry is a part of your face. When I think about my closest friends, I can imagine what earrings they wear every day.
I love
or
that.
what necklace they wear. And the other thing is, part of why when I started alchemy, the funny part was I remember sitting around and thinking, what is if I could put a personality trait on a diamond shape, what would it be? And I made a list of like 50, every shape I could think of, down to like a horse head cut. Like, why would someone buy that?
Yeah.
You know, they're an equestrian, you know, but I was like a round stone. She is like classic. She doesn't want to like fall too far. She understands the quality and like a round diamond and its maximum brilliance, and an emerald cut. Like for me, I named emerald cut Vanguard because in my mind, the woman who wears an emerald cut is determined. She knows exactly what she wants. She is like straight, like the straight facets of an emerald cut.
Yeah.
And so after I did that, I thought to myself, women never get to do this, because when do you do this? When you get engaged, half the time you don't even pick your own diamond
Right.
out. So I sort of did it before that, especially because my client is in large part a self-purchasing woman, which
Right.
I love.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, down to one of my clients who came in and bought herself a 3-carat pear shape and picked it up yesterday for her middle finger ring because she wanted it.
That's okay. I just love that so much. It's like, what's funny is actually like 5 years ago, I had 3 pieces of jewelry. They are all bought for me by my now husband. And I remember telling my friend who has a jewelry brand, I said like, oh, you know, each piece is from my husband. And I kind of like that. And then she basically, what word am I looking for? She, not spoiled me. Anyway, she was a bad influence because all of a sudden I just kept swiping my credit card and started buying for myself. And it's like
indulged you.
Indulged, yeah. And she influenced me. And I just feel like, why do we need to wait for a guy to wear a diamond on our finger? It's the silliest thing.
It really, really is.
Right. Or to buy that watch or something, you
Mhm.
know?
Anything else. I mean, it is. So I bought myself my first watch. My grandfather bought me my first watch that I subsequently lost, but he gave it to me as we made a big sale together, and I pointed out a watch in a showcase at the store we were at, and 2 days later it arrived in the mail.
Oh my God.
And so I decided, even after he passed, that I was going to use that as like, it was going to signify important, you know, finalities or things that I had to accomplish. And I use it, and I set set goals for myself. And I'm like, and when I get there, I'm going to get myself a new watch. And this was the first one that I bought myself, actually, this Cartier I'm wearing. And every time I put it on, it brings me back to that moment of, I did that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like when I got like my first big promotion in my corporate job, I bought myself a Cartier watch, and like now I get to like wear that moment every day.
Right. And quite frankly, if it was a bag, you probably wouldn't be wearing it anymore.
Yes.
Right. No, I love jewelry. I love each piece having a story. Like, of course, I also love to indulge and get otherwise, but I really try to rein it in, and I try to say to myself, like, keep this. Well, first of all, spend responsibly, but also like, I know Chanler's like, that's
Girl
not gonna
math.
happen.
It's price per wear. You know?
Yes.
You're going to wear it
absolutely is.
forever.
Mhm.
But there's something just so special about being like, this is the piece I got when I got the promotion. This is the piece I got when X, Y, or Z happened. I got this random piece after Chandler's Bachelorette because someone told me I was a water sign. I feel like
Big and little moment. Big
So funny.
up
What are you?
I'm a Cancer.
Love it.
Anyway,
Wow. Did not know that.
That's so funny.
I mean,
Lauren will help you come up with whatever moment.
I guess I can make small moments big and then justify it in my head. But no, it is so fun. And then also, if you spend money on jewelry, in my opinion, like that's such a better investment than a bag, than a piece of clothing. You can pass it down. I just feel better about investing, in jewelry than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm not going to, sit there and say like buying jewelry is sustainable, because I don't know how everybody's business practices are. But I know that, I'm not saving lives when I go to work every day, but I am doing something that is relatively sustainable. I don't do melts. I buy a lot of vintage diamonds, and even the diamonds that I buy, I mean, diamond mining is a relatively clean operation. It's open pit mining. It's not, you don't see people coming out of a diamond mine covered in soot. The life of a diamond mine is about 50 years.
Okay.
And when they've taken and extracted all the diamonds out of the mine that they can, they bring the land back. They fill it up again, and they bring it back, and they'll bring vegetation back. They'll put the animals back on the land. There is like a sustainability, and it's not unfortunately like fashion where they're just burning clothing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's seasonal, and this season didn't sell. I don't have that. I don't have seasons that don't sell.
Right.
My pieces stay there forever.
Right. And I'm assuming that also like you can transform those pieces into other pieces. So it is actually more of a sustainable business from that point of view. I also feel like I buy so much fewer clothing because I always tell my girlfriend, I'm always like, I would rather be in Levi's in a white t-shirt and amazing jewelry than the newest like top or whatever.
It's the way to do it.
Yes.
And I mean, I personally wear so much jewelry that I can't wear patterns.
Yeah.
I can't wear ruffles. I can't wear bows. I wouldn't wear them anyway. So, like short of stripes, I basically wear solid patterns.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Nobody thinks I'm underdressed.
Right. Exactly. Chan, I have a friend. She's very esteemed, Forbes 30 under 30, has a very impressive company. She's a CEO, she's a tycoon, she sits on boards or whatever. She has a lot going on in her brain.
Why is she friends with you?
That is honestly the $1 million question. But I have to tell you, I got a text from her husband the other day and he said, "Thank you so much for recommending Early Bird CBD. She has honestly been able to just chill out a little bit so much more. She takes half a gummy and it has been life-changing for her." We cannot swear by Early Bird CBD gummies more in our households.
They are the only gummies that I reach for.
They help you in the middle of the night just get back to sleep. If you want to enjoy a show more, a delicious meal, melt into that pillow of yours. You guys, earlybirdscbd.com. Use code POPApologist for 20% off. You will not regret it, and a bottle lasts a long time. That's earlybirdscbd.com. Use code POPApologist for 20% off.
With summer in full swing, I feel that familiar urge to check everything and refresh my closet. But I'm trying to not waste money on pieces I'll only wear once or just for one season. That's where Quince comes in. Their clothes are timeless, feel luxurious, look elevated, and the quality is way beyond what you'd expect for the price. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that just clicks. I picked up one of their 100% European linen tops, just $30, and a washable silk skirt that I've already worn out and about in the city. I use Quince and you should too. From the fit to the fabric to the price, it just feels like luxury, but without the luxury markup. Quince works directly with top artisans and cuts out the middlemen. Everything is made with safe, ethical practices and premium fabrics. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/apologist for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/apologist to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/apologist. I think I want to know from your perspective, like if somebody is new to this world or they're about to invest in their first piece of fine jewelry, like where do you start? Do you start with the ring or the chain or what?
So I think that for me, well, I have two things. One, unfortunately, I think earrings and necklaces are for everyone else. And bracelets and rings are for you because
you can see them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can touch them and they're so tactile. Once your earrings are in your ear, unless you're looking in the mirror, you don't know that they're there.
Yeah.
But they brighten your face. And, I say to my best friend all the time, we won't leave the house without earrings on now. Even if I'm going to my yoga class, so that I'm going to come home and take a shower, I'll put my earrings on before I leave. Because if I have to look at my reflection and I don't have a little bit of bling in my ear, I feel old and sad. And so I think diamond earrings are the best way to start because it really does brighten your face. And you don't have to change them. You can just enjoy them every day, or a necklace. So I think like it's a core, either a diamond pendant or a gold pendant, whatever means something to you, and whatever pair of diamond earrings bring you joy. Preferably not a generic pair of diamond studs.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually funny. I wore the same earring stack for 3 years, and my 10-year-old niece just started bullying me, and she was like, "This has got to stop." Gotta. And that's how I actually stumbled across your earrings, because I was looking on ShopUp for a new earring stack, because she was like, "This is getting like ridiculous." Well, yeah, and so I invested in some pieces, but I will wear these day in, day out around my face for years. So I feel like they are such a good investment. And like you said, they do become like a part of your face.
Yeah. And you can dress them up and dress them down. And then obviously now most of us have several piercings. So even if you have 2 pairs of earrings and you wear them asymmetrically, 2 on one ear and 2 on the other ear, the same pair, it's a completely different look from wearing them symmetrically, matchy, first piercing, second piercing.
Speak a little bit more, if you would, to like purchasing jewelry or wearing jewelry in a way that's stylish and cool and then like kind of unexpected? Because I feel like you have a very cool style with the way you put your jewelry together.
And like layering.
Yeah, like what mistakes are people making?
So I think, what sometimes people will walk into my store, into my showroom, and they'll put pieces on and they'll go, sorry, I don't like that. And my response is always, why are you sorry? Like it needs to feel good on you. And even though technically jewelry fits everybody, it fits around your neck, it doesn't mean that it suits you. So it's really, you have to put something on. I say all the time when I'm shopping, if it's a maybe, it's a no, but never is that more true than with jewelry.
Yeah.
If you put it on and you don't feel that instinctual, please don't make me take this off. It's mean to make me take this off.
Right.
Then take it off and try something else on. And the minute you put something on and you look in the mirror and you say, I love this.
Yeah.
I love the way the reflection of my face looks when I look at myself in this. That's when you know that it's your piece. And that's when you know that it's the piece that's not too much or everybody has a different lifestyle, right? So it's like, for me, I can wear 12 necklaces and it feels authentic to me. And someone else could put that on and it would look ridiculous.
Right.
Like it would plainly look ridiculous based on how they present themselves or what they do for a living. I can't be a nursery school teacher and wear this, right? Do you know? So I think that I always equate buying jewelry for the first fine jewelry for yourself, like buying your first car. You walk into the dealership and you feel like a deer in headlights. You have no idea what you're doing. They're like spitting numbers at you and all kinds of upgrades, and you have no idea. But ultimately, when you get in and you test drive it, you're like, that car feels comfortable. I feel like a safe person on the road, and I like the way I feel in this car.
Yeah.
The how my eyes go over the dashboard, that's always it for me because I'm 5'2", so mostly I can't see over the dashboard. It's the same thing with jewelry.
Yeah.
Ask a million questions. Don't be shy. It's easy to try on jewelry. You don't have to take all your clothing off.
Yeah.
You don't have to put like a mask over your face so that you don't get makeup on the clothing, right? You just take things on, put them off. I'll try this on. I'll try that on until you finally hit something where you feel like, I love this. It's manageable for me. I can make the splurge.
Yeah.
And think about it like, will I love this in 10 years?
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately, that to me, the worst thing is having buyer's remorse with buying jewelry.
It's such an emotional purchase for me. Like I find that jewelry for me, if I love a piece, like I can't stop thinking about it. It's like just becomes so obsessive.
Right.
And I feel like those purchases end up being, even if I need to wait a year to buy it, like I wanted this watch for 3 years before I got it. And I wanted it after I met a certain goal. And a few years went by that I didn't meet the goal. And I was like, and so I just said, I'm not getting it. And I feel like those purchases just end up having so much meaning, and they just end up being so special.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's very emotional. It's on your skin.
Yeah.
It's really skin to skin. That's part of also passing it down. When I think to myself, I wear this diamond that was my grandmother's.
Yeah.
My grandmother wore this on the same finger that I'm wearing it on for her entire life. I refuse to believe that this natural gemstone that came out of the ground did not pick up, after my grandmother wearing it for 30 years, some of her energy that I get to have on my finger now. And I'm not that woo-woo, but a little bit I have to be, because how can you not?
Yeah. No, and all of this, I think, well, first of all, I think that's so cool and such an interesting point of view. And I also think that this is stuff that you actually can give to your grandchildren someday, unlike a bag or a coat that is just much less of an investment or a good investment.
It doesn't hold up in the same way,
Yeah.
Yeah. And also you can, right, that's exactly it. You can wear it for 20 years. You can bring it back to me. I can polish it. And maybe it needs a prong tightened or something nominally done to it. And then it looks brand new again.
Right. I want to get your opinion on engagement rings. What's your personal favorite? What trends do you like? What do you feel like is just not trendy, is just always a classic?
So my favorite trend right now is that I really do feel like there's no trend, which is deeply relieving, because at some point when my first round, because most of my friends are on their second round or have been lucky enough to stick it out, but my first round in my 20s, everyone was getting the same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was getting a round stone with a halo or like a square cushion cut with a halo. Everybody. And then there would be that one person who'd be like, I'm going to be different. I'm getting a 3-stone ring.
Yeah.
It was 1 out of every 10 or 12.
Yep.
So, and I think now people really want to impart their personality and they're a little less scared of that feeling of, buyer's remorse. I obviously come from a unique perspective because the people who are coming to me to buy an engagement ring already feel probably a different level of confidence because they don't mind doing something that's a little left of center.
Yeah.
But I think every shape is trending. I think for a while people thought that round stones would eventually fall by the wayside, but a round is a round. It's beautiful. It's classic. It's, from a technical perspective, it like scientifically is the most brilliant. So if you want something that really sparkles, you want a round stone.
Yeah.
I always loved pear shapes and marquees. And so it's cool that they're popular now.
Yeah.
And they haven't been forever.
Yeah.
And now people come in and I'm buying pear shapes and making pear shape and marquee engagement rings all the time and psyched about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same thing. You have to know yourself and know your lifestyle. If you are someone who's hard wearing on your jewelry, which is not a negative thing, sometimes I'll say that to people and they say, am I? Yeah. I mean, I just wear it for my daily life. And I'm like, well, what's your daily life?
Yeah.
And they're pushing a double stroller and they're grocery shopping and they're lifting weights and they don't want to take their jewelry off. That's a person who's hard wearing on their jewelry. So if you're that person, get a chunkier ring.
Yeah.
Get something that suits your lifestyle so it can like stand the test of time. And like be genuine with yourself. It's like a beautiful, super delicate engagement ring is great.
Yeah.
It's also high maintenance.
One thing I will say about your engagement ring designs is that I feel like they are very special and they are very unique. And there are some, I will say, trends I think that I've seen with a lot of people getting engaged, like the whisper thin band with the hidden halo. That's, that's a ring that I got. And then it seemed like everyone had it. And probably everyone had it before as well. I was jumping on the bandwagon. And I love your scarlet design because it's basically a diamond and then it is a halo. It is a hidden halo. There's no visible halo from the top, but then when it turns to the side, it's just sitting on all these like different size diamonds. I think that's the coolest design. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it was actually modeled after the ring that I reset my grandmother's ring.
Yeah.
This was the original one. And then I had a client who came in. She had inherited a diamond from, I think maybe her mother-in-law who had passed away. And it was a very, very white stone. It was a D color. And she wanted this ring. And I said to her, well, she wanted it to be all yellow gold. And I was like, but we have to put platinum in it because it has to be platinum or it's such a waste of a D-colored stone. So we came up with this compromise of keeping it platinum and then bringing yellow gold prongs. So it had this look of yellow gold and that's how it was born.
Interesting.
So, which is also like speaks to, I do a lot of restyling and a lot of like repurposing of jewelry because a la the inheriting things. Sometimes you inherit things that you don't love.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you don't want to sell it and you also don't want to wear it. And to me, an unworn piece of jewelry is the saddest piece of jewelry.
Yeah, something that sits in your drawer that's like from your grandmother or something, but you're just like, it doesn't feel like you.
Yeah. I always say like, I don't want any of my pieces to be fossilizing in a jewelry box, So the restyling is also like, it's an incredible opportunity to keep designing. It keeps me like always on my toes and thinking and how can I, we did your
Yes,
ring,
my wedding band. Yes.
your wedding band. And I feel like that was a little bit of a challenge because comfort was so important to you, but also you wanted something
that felt a little bit more special. Yeah, my other ring was super uncomfortable. It felt like it was poking me.
Yeah.
And it was funny. So we met and then, they sent back the original or the new designs and they said, this is kind of how it will look, but we can't say we can't give you a full CAD or a full like picture because we've never done this before with oval diamonds.
Right.
And I was like, I trust Jade. She said, they said that you said it was going to be beautiful and it turned out so spectacular. I'm obsessed. And it feels like butter. The sides feel so smooth and now I wear it all the time. And I used to not wear my wedding band virtually any time unless I was going out to dinner or recording because it was just constantly poking me.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's I was thrilled with how it turned out actually.
Beautiful. Thank you so
and
much.
I'm grateful that you gave me the, opportunity to do it because there's that's the other thing too is there's such a huge trust factor.
Yeah.
So go to somebody who's like hear it for the long haul, and someone who you connect with, someone that you can call and annoy and not feel like, and they don't make you feel like you're annoying them, because it's a
Right.
big purchase. To me, there's no such thing as annoying me or asking me too many questions. I don't care if you're spending $2,000 or $200,000. Actually, the person who's spending their first two needs to know a lot more things than the person who's spending 200, who has presumably bought themselves a few pieces
Right.
of jewelry already.
Right.
So, I think trust is a huge thing. Like I make a joke all the time. You need to have your rabbi, your lawyer, and your jeweler, But you really do. You need someone who you can go to for all the things.
Yeah.
And I end up doing that for so many of my clients, where it's just, they don't even know, their chain breaks and it's not my piece, but it's something that they bought 20 years ago. And they're like, do you mind? Do you mind?
Yeah.
And my feeling is, otherwise it's just going to sit there and you're never going to get it fixed. Please give it to me immediately.
Yeah.
Let's get it on your neck again.
That's amazing. And I will also say two things. One, your necklaces have this like adjustable thing on the back that no one else's does. And so it helps with layering immensely, because all of a sudden, like, your necklaces can be at any point on your neck, which is genius. And I don't understand why you're the only one who does this.
I mean, other people do it, but I love it and I lean into it because I think it's great.
It's amazing.
That's another tip I have for people wearing several necklaces. People always say to me, how do you not tangle your necklaces?
Yeah.
You need to have chains of different gauges.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
if you have all the same super thin chain, that's how they end up like tangling with each other.
Okay.
So, and then the other thing is, I take all my jewelry off at night.
I was going to ask, like, do you take your, like, when you shower, do you like, or what's your routine?
I pretty much, if I'm taking a quick rinse off, like, this bottom layer of necklaces will come off.
Yeah.
But I'll leave some of the other ones on. I keep my earrings off. But at night, I can't sleep.
You take your earrings off too.
I have to take everything off every night.
Yeah.
It's a little brutal sometimes when I know I'm in a short timeline the next day. But really, I can do it. And I've timed myself. It takes about 6 minutes to put everything on, which is, in the grand scheme of things, is not so bad, right?
There's
What's
also
6 minutes?
something fun about putting it on, and like kind of transforming a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
It's real, and it's kind of ritualistic because you can't really do anything else while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You can't multitask. I can't even really talk on the phone. It makes it take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I can listen to music, I can be listening to a podcast, but it's almost like meditative of, I'm also at the age now. I know I keep like aging myself, but it is true. When I was in my 20s, I could just put my earrings on. Now I have to look in the mirror. I feel like I can't find it, So, just like looking in the mirror and like getting so close and intimate with your face.
Right.
And it's almost like a version of our skincare routine.
Yeah.
It just has the same feeling of like some self-love, right?
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing I also will say, kind of going back to the engagement ring thing, is if someone is kind of tired of their engagement ring, or they feel like they've had it for a long time and they aren't ready for an upgrade, but maybe want to like zhuzh it, restyling it and resetting it is probably a really good option. And you have so many cool styles that I think people can look at. So,
And
Just a
it's
pro
fun.
tip.
And I feel like it's like it can reinvigorate sort of like the romance or the beginning when you've been wearing the same ring for 10 or 15 years,
Yeah.
like renovating your house,
Right.
It's, the house is still the house,
Yeah.
right? But eventually you need to put new wallpaper up, and the couch that you loved, you don't love anymore. And,
Right.
Yeah,
it's like getting a different stone is such a big investment. It's such a, it's such a moment. And if you're kind of looking to scratch that itch, but you're not ready for that moment, I feel like resetting is a good option.
Yeah.
Cash App is built for the way you and your friends move and save money. Splitting pizza with your friends or paying someone back for movie tickets, no need to wait forever to get paid back when it can be done in a tap. Work hourly and get direct deposit, set it up on Cash App and get your money up to 2 days early. Plus, Cash App is super safe. When you bank through Cash App, you gain access to instant alerts, the power to lock your card in a tap, and extra safeguards so strangers can't find your account. No hidden fees, no surprises, just simple money moves that fit your life. Take control of your money today with Cash App. If you're between 13 and 17, you can still sign up. Just ask your parent or guardian for help to open up a Cash App sponsored account. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn additional cash. For real. If you're over 18, just download Cash App, and after you sign up, use our exclusive referral code, POPApologist, in your profile, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account when you send $5 or more to a friend within your first 14 days. If you're 13 to 17 years old, request a sponsored account from a parent or guardian. And once you sign up, use our exclusive referral code POPApologist in your profile to get $10 dropped right into your account when you order and activate your free Cash App card, and send $5 or more to a friend within your first 14 days. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partner. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a blocking brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
What are your styling tips? You just have very cool style. I'm curious, like when we're talking about like wrist stacks, what is your advice?
So, I think the biggest thing is to go slow.
Okay.
Don't buy yourself a bracelet stack in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
You can have aspirations and take a picture and say, I think I want these 6 bracelets and I'm going to work towards it. Maybe you start with 2 or 3. 3 is very generous. Lots of self-love, right? But take time and see how it feels. I mean, I definitely I think I like a combination of bangles and soft bracelets.
Okay.
But you don't want the bangle to consume your soft bracelets. And, obviously a little bit of gold and a little bit of diamond. I also like color. Actually, that's what I always get myself when I go and do these big trade shows. I buy myself a show present.
Okay.
And I sort of walk around and snake through the aisles and I'm like, what am I going to buy myself on the last day?
Yeah.
And I ended up buying myself 2 color beaded pieces, a colorful beaded bracelet with gold beads in it.
Okay.
And another necklace that's sort of muted tones, but with gold pieces in color, because I feel like what's missing from my stack is a pop of color. I also think that you should mix metals. People are always scared to do that, but a white diamond bracelet with a bunch of yellow gold pieces will make your yellow look more exciting.
Yeah.
And it will make the white really pop out too.
Well, like you said, you didn't want to set that ring, or that, that ring needed to be around platinum so the D color of the diamond could really shine. So.
Exactly.
You need the contrast.
Right. And then I said to her, you can stack a bunch of yellow gold rings with it if you want to, and it's going to feel yellow.
Right.
But it's also going to complement your diamond in its best light.
Yeah. What, so when someone's building their jewelry collection, your advice is to go slow, don't obviously get it all at once, which none of us can anyway. So,
right.
What other advice do you have for people?
Again, thinking about your lifestyle and how you're going to wear it and when you're going to wear it. I think the days, for the most part, I think the days of occasion pieces are over. And I can't tell you how many big pieces I have broken up for people and made into 3 smaller pieces.
Interesting.
Because people just don't want to wear it. In fact, I have a piece in my line called my Phoebe bracelet, and it's just like a diamond and then a piece of paperclip chain almost next to it. And it's diamond chain. It came from a woman who came into my office one day in my showroom and said, I can't wear it. It was a huge tennis bracelet, huge.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not wearing this anymore. It's not my lifestyle. She said, I have 3 daughters. Make all 4 of us something that we can wear together.
So cool.
So I broke that one bracelet up into 4 bracelets. She never takes it off, and her girls wear it every day also.
Yeah.
So I think don't aspire towards that occasion piece. Think about pieces that you can dress up and dress down.
Yeah.
And that can feel appropriate in a black tie dress and can feel equally as appropriate in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Even my biggest hoop earrings, I can wear jeans and a t-shirt and those hoop earrings and go out for dinner at night and feel great, and wear the same thing to a black tie event and it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's a big one. I think also knowing your color tones, if rose gold looks good on you, by the way, go for it.
Okay.
It never looks good on anyone. It washes a lot of people
You're saying
out.
but so some people it does look good on.
Yeah. And for the few people where rose gold looks good on you, you should rock it.
Yeah.
Even if it means you have to custom order it and wait for it, because there's most of the time people don't stock as much rose gold.
Right. Right.
And be authentic to yourself. Don't be apologetic. If you're a person who likes a certain thing and it feels good on you, that's what you should do. Don't fall into the trends. I think trends are the biggest mistake when buying fine jewelry.
Okay. Well, my next question was going to be, what are the trends coming up? Because you were just at the show, but hot take, we shouldn't care.
I don't think it matters. And I
Yeah.
personally don't think there are trends.
Mm.
You know, I saw everything this year. I saw lots of kitsch, lots of, you know, if you want I don't want to call any specific thing out,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, if you want it in gold and diamonds, you can have it.
Yeah.
Can I say something that's like a little like NC-17?
Sure.
Please.
So I have a friend of mine who's a designer, and she makes these amazing, they're called bling rings. It's a nail, it's a diamond and gold nail that you put on your nail.
Okay.
And you wear it over here. And I have one and I love it. I only wear it on certain occasions because I'm always scared I'm going to lose it. This time I went to her booth. It was actually her first time showing at this show. And I said, what are those? And she said, those are Cardi B's nipples in yellow gold. I casted her nipples for a show she did. And I was like,
Oh,
Wait,
my
what?
gosh.
and I was like, may I try them on? And she said, of course. So,
Like to put on top of your nipples, like
yes.
not to wear as well, I guess to wear as jewelry, but
Well, I guess you could wear them. I could wear them over a
right,
t-shirt,
like
right?
you know how
With some tape.
Skims does like the bra with the nipples now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, like
But gold.
incredible.
Wow.
So I said, I put them on, and I said, I like these. She said, wear them. I said, okay. And I walked around the show for an entire day wearing gold nipples. And at the end of it, I said, I need to own these.
Yeah.
I need you to cast, but I don't want to wear Cardi B's nipples.
Right.
I want to
Yeah.
wear my nipples. I need you to come and cast my nipples.
Wait, I think I want the same. I love that.
Well, she's going to do it because she casts grills and she does that for people. So she's going to cast my nipples.
How does it stay on?
So you can use, I have a lot of these like sheer bras, and I just put it in there and it was
Okay,
fine.
so it just kind of goes underneath your bra.
But yeah, exactly. But you could also use, you know, eyelash glue or a little
Right.
bit of clothing tape and,
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
but I feel like if that is the way you want to wear fine jewelry,
Yeah.
you should do that. And if that's trendy to you, that's great.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I do, you know, you see everything. And so I don't know. I mean,
I love that.
I've loved little tiny watches for years now. I basically, if I could take my whole large watch collection and make mini watches, I would.
Oh, you would? Okay.
But I also know that it will change again.
Mhm.
You know, everything changes. And so instead of getting rid of them and investing in a collection of little watches, I will layer 2 or 3 little watches that I adore that I'll always wear. And I'll wear them even when big watches are, which by the way, I think, and I mean, you guys tell me what you think. but
Yeah.
I don't think there's trends in clothing anymore either. I think you can wear everything. I mean, maybe we're not wearing jeggings.
Yeah.
but you can wear a skinny jean.
Mm-hmm.
You can wear a wide leg jean.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there'll be trends. You'll walk into the store and this season there'll be more of high waisted, whatever. But I don't know. I like my skinny mid-rise jeans and I wear them all the time and I don't feel like I look not trendy.
Yeah, I feel like there's just a permissiveness now to just wear so much more.
Yeah.
And like even I remember when sheer dresses came into fashion, like first of all that has stayed big time. But also it just was so shocking at first and now it's just kind of it's so been normalized and I just feel like people can kind of wear what they want.
Yeah, I feel like like I feel like there's obviously the extremes, but I think there's just like, a bigger cross section of just like you can mix things from 90s and right now. And like, it's less of like, there's only one way to look hot and it's a super skinny jean, you know, and a tank top or something. It's just like, there's a bunch of different ways.
Yeah,
And it's like, it's more accepted.
exactly. And it's more interesting
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
We were laughing because Kenny Chesney was playing at the Sphere, and so at some point, you know, and I wasn't necessarily aware of it, except when 1,000 people in a line came at me wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, and wearing the same version of an outfit, you know, and I was like, well, what's at the Sphere?
Yeah.
Because last year when I was there, it was Dead & Co, so
Yeah.
it was thousands of tie-dye T-shirts coming at me, you know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we have 1 minute left. So I want one last question. What is a red flag people should look out for? They want to know if they're looking for a quality, if they're looking at a brand, they want to buy something. Like, are there any red flags people should look out for?
I come from a unique perspective because I like things that it has to feel good.
Yeah.
You know, if it's flipping, if it's, you know, feels like light in the wrong way, if it's catching on your clothing, if it's, you know, if there doesn't, it seems inconsistent. If you're looking at a diamond piece specifically and you look at it and you're like, I can with my eye see that that diamond looks a little different from that diamond in the wrong way. It's dull. It's darker.
Right.
Those are things that I would say are pitfalls. I think buy real gold.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
worth the investment. It doesn't matter if it's 14 or 18, but just real gold.
Right.
My 9-carat vintage pieces are still beautiful and stay
Mhm.
intact,
Yeah.
even though there's barely any gold in it. I think those are the main takeaways. Like, it's a lot of it is how you feel,
Yeah.
right? Because you know how you feel when you put something on from
Yeah.
a couture brand, like a cashmere coat versus the cashmere coat from J. Crew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing I will say, you said you're not saving lives, so what you're doing, but you are making women feel amazing. And I truly feel amazing in all of my Jade Trau pieces. And I get so many compliments. People constantly want to know about my earrings. So anyway, you are making women feel amazing. So
Thank you. I love it. I love what I do.
yeah.
It's really joyful.
Thank you so
Seems
much.
like you guys do too, by the way. And I love that.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
nice to be in your company.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, everyone, Jade has been generous enough to offer our listeners a code for 10% off, which is not something you really do that much. So thank you so much. This is so exciting. It's code POPApologists. So if you're ready to invest in your first piece, you can go to jadetrau.com. We'll have links in the show notes. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you guys so much. This was
Thank
great.
you.